All right, this is my Aipas A2 Elite. I've done a couple of videos on this and my wife's. We're going to add a second battery to this one. I've said in the other videos, I'm about 6'5", 6'6", about 270. And I'm only getting about 25-mile range on it. And that's in pass 3 where I pedal constantly. I don't ever stop pedaling. And usually gear 7, sometimes 6. But mostly gear 7, pass 3. And I get maybe 25 miles. I can get 20 comfortably. I've never went past like 21, 22. But I think if as long as it wasn't super hilly or windy out, I could squeeze 25 out of it. Now my wife's getting between 30 and 40, we believe, because she's commuting back and forth to work and riding. And a lot of times, if we ride the same ride and both our bikes are charged up, she's got quite a few more bars left than I do. So we believe her bike can probably maybe squeak out 40. She's quite a bit smaller than me, but I went ahead and got the kit from Electric All Wheel, and I'll leave all this information in the description. This is the 40 amp universal dual battery balancer kit, T60, and I bought a battery which is probably too big for this bike. It's a 48 volt 20 amp. I think these come with 11 amp factory, so it's almost twice the capacity of the factory battery. But my main goal is try to get I'd like to get 30 or 40 miles out of it. I don't necessarily want to ride 40 miles, but and plus if I get more range out of it, I don't have to charge it every time. Right now I basically charge it because most of my rides are 18 to 21 miles. You know, if I could go a little farther, I'd probably push it out to maybe 30 or 25. So that's all I really want out of the bike, but I am having to charge it every single time that I take it out when I come back. So I'm hoping that this big battery will allow me not to charge as much, and then obviously go the range that I want to go. It's a pretty big battery. I'll show you that in a little bit, and I'll leave the link down to that. Now you can get the smaller battery, I think the 10 amp hour battery, and it fits in your triangle, and I'll show you where. But this battery is so big, I didn't really think it out too close when I thought I didn't realize like it'd be kind of hard to find a place to put this battery when I first got it. I was going to just put it in the back of the bag on the rack there, but I'd rather have that bag to be able to carry stuff I need to. So it's nice. We figured out maybe put it on the seat post. It's right there. I'll give you a better picture of it, a better shot of it in a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and you got to unfold the bike and open it up like this. And then there's some screws we got to take out to get to the electronics and the wires that we need to add a second battery. So I'll pick it back up when we get over there. All right, so once you get the bike folded open, you're going to take out all these screws around here real quick and get in there. So once you got all those screws off, you can pull the plate out, and then you just kind of pull everything out. There's a lot of you got the controller, and then we got this balancer that we get with the kit. And I got it hooked up, and I'll tell you how I did it real quick. There's a hole in the back here where you can run the battery to the cable to your extra battery. We'll do that in a little bit, but I just got everything pulled out. This is the balancer, and you're going to take one of your cables that comes in the kit and run that through that hole back there, and that'll go up to your battery wherever you decide to mount your battery. And then you're going to hook that to an N. It says in, and out on this controller. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but your two batteries will go to your N. So your plate that that's hooked to your factory battery plugs into one of the ends, and then the cable that you got for your extra battery will both go on the end on the. It says in on there on the controller, and then the one that says out on the controller that goes over to here. And this is taped. It was taped on mine. The plug was together, so you may have to take the tape off and unhook it. So now that you got that done, we're just going to kind of stuff everything back in here and go from there. So I'm going to run this extra cable out the back. There's a hole, like I said, there's a hole back in there, and then we're just going to kind of gently stuff everything in there and see how it fits. So I'm just going to try to stuff everything. I'm going to put this in first, and
you can show the wire.
See how it goes. I got the wire through there already, and I'll kind of show you that when we get back together. So I'm trying to. I won't be too rough with this stuff, but we're going to try to stuff it back in. It might be bunched up in the back. I might have to pull some of this. I got this bike on a some boards. And it's kind of unstable, so. But I wanted to have it up in the air so I can kind of see what I'm doing. Trying to be somewhat gingery with it. Alright. Let me renegotiate the wires a little bit and then I'll pick it back up. Hit the top. Alright, so when I pulled this out, I actually unhooked one of the wires. My wiring is not long enough for it to pull out this far. And it came loose, so I had to put a zip tie on it on this end and bring it through this hole. And hook it back up and then tape it. So now I'm just going to kind of stuff it back in there. It's a pretty big challenge to get all these wires and everything stuffed in here back to where they were. Just be careful when you pull this out because I did pull one of my connectors off and it bent the pin a little bit and I was able to pin it. I was able to bend it back and get it hooked back up. And like I said, I took a zip tie, a long one, and just ran it through there because there was no way the slack on the other end was going to come out to here to unhook it back up or to hook it back up. So we just messed with it for about half hour, 45 minutes, just to get it back to where it can work again. So now we're just gonna go ahead and stuff that back in the hole and run the extra cable and stuff this hopefully on top of there, and then we'll test it real quick before we put it back together. And put this back on, and we got the wires all back in. I'm gonna I did take off a couple zip ties, so I got to zip tie this back up. So right now I got the battery hooked up. And we're just gonna see if it'll spin the tire. Go ahead and, is the screen on?
Screen is on?
Screen is on, go ahead and put it on. See if it just spin it a little bit. There you go. So that's running off the new battery on the back, because obviously the bike's still folded up. So we're just gonna, I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit in the back, put a couple zip ties on it, and then we'll fold the bike back up and make sure, I'll unplug that battery, and then make sure the factory battery works, and then we should be good to go. So I'm going to do some zip tying and then we're going to fold it up and put it on the ground. Alright, so we're just going to test it real quick. I went ahead and unhooked the second battery. You see, it's a pretty big battery. I think it's 12 inches long. This is the 4820 amp. It's probably, I know you can get some that'll fit down here in this triangle area. I think the 10 amp does. Probably be a better option if you're not real power hungry or you're not going to go far. This is probably overkill. And honestly, if I wasn't tall as I am, I wouldn't even be able, you know, because the seat would be lower. This wouldn't fit here either, so I'd have to end up putting it in a bag, and that would kind of defeat the purpose of the bag. I mean, this is in a bag already, but if you want to disguise it. But I think the 20 amps probably overkill. If I could do it over, I'd probably get the smaller one, just because I only need another 10 or 15 miles anyway. But we're gonna go ahead. It's on 3 right now, and the screen's on, and we got the factory, you know, that's unplugged. The factory battery obviously is plugged back in, and I'm just going to give it a little tap there. You can see that's working. So that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. You're going to have some patience with that space where everything goes, the wiring. That took us the longest. Putting the wiring together and doing all that is super easy. This really would only be probably like a 20-30 minute job at the most. The main thing that hung us up was that one disconnected, and there's not enough slack through. So you gotta be pretty patient when you're putting all the wiring together, because you know, you just need like another inch in there and then you'd be fine. But we don't, you know, you don't have that. So anyway, I'm gonna probably do a video on the range I'm gonna get now. This is a pretty heavy battery too. What do you think it is? About 30 pounds, maybe 20? I don't know. It's heavy.
It's heavy.
I'm going to put all the links to the battery and electric all wheel. They're the ones that supply the battery balancer so that it feeds off of both batteries evenly. They also supply the wiring, and they told me what links to go to get this battery. So this, like I said, this is a great step-by-step video on it. I think anybody could do this. Just got to be patient with the wiring. And it's not so much the wiring, like wiring it up. It's just getting everything back in that tube area and getting it to close up good. So anyway, that's all. I think the next video will be on this bike and what kind of range I'm going to get on it. I'll probably play around more with the 4 and 5 pass setting with this bigger battery on there. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and God bless.